Well, welcome to another installment of Where Was God? Or in this case, it's kind of like Demon Boot Camp. I wanted to do an instructional video on what I found out about producing videos for YouTube. Been having some issues, so I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things that I learned along the way. Basically, what I do is I use Vocal Screen, which is a screen recorder. You can use any screen recorder you want to, but I found out a few things about this. Let me show you how this sets up. Magnification on one, the countdown. I have a countdown of a couple of seconds. I have this set up at basically an area. So once I hit an area, then I can go ahead and use just a couple of clicks and it'll just record an area of the screen that I specify. You can do the entire window or full screen or whatever. Then I go over to the sound recording, which is the microphone, and I notice if I have both of these clicked, I get this echo. So I just had to click this bottom one, go over the video to set it up, and I've got it set at 24 frames a second because that's what I was using on another program. It's 24 frames a second MP4, and I do an X 264. I got no idea what that means, but that's how it works. I gotta play around with these quality buttons and maybe some of these other settings, but this is what I've been finding out as I've been uploading my videos, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm gonna go into my files, I'm gonna hit my videos, I'm gonna go into this one that I just published. It took me 3 days to make this one. Uh, when I did the original video like I'm doing here, it came up to just under 1 gigabyte or yeah, just under 100 megabytes, which is 1,000 megabytes is 1 gigabyte. But when I converted the whole thing, it came up to 5.6 gigabytes. So it just like exploded using this, uh, open OpenShot video. The OpenShot video itself is only 2.3 megabytes, which is smaller than this. But when I look at the assets folder and I hit the properties, well, here's where 4.7 gigabytes are existing. All of the files inside of here, and you can click on here. Basically, it is a blender. It shows thumbnails. This is the storage area for the video that I made. And I'm going to click on this. This is the OpenShot. And this is the video that I made. Basically, what I do is I import the video that I made, and then I put it in this track one, which is the video, and then I can put in all kinds of different pictures and everything else over that. I can insert videos over it, all kinds of stuff, but I'll just play a little bit so you can get an understanding of what this can do for you.
Untrue. And in Ezekiel 28, we saw this description of the king of Tyre all dressed up in jewels and everything else, and basically that explains exactly why these people wind up going into schools dressed up just like their God and trying to play like their God because they really believe they're gods. For some reason, it's just completely crazy. See what this fentanyl is doing to this country, and they're trying.
So you can get the general idea that you can use this program to put in different pictures and to kind of spruce up your videos and stuff. And they've got quite a number of tracks. I'm gonna flip on over here to where I actually overlaid a video over this screen, so you can see how that's
The
done.
matter is, the people that are doing the stealing are showing up in a parking lot with stolen cars. You think it's a big deal for them to drive their stolen car to Walmart? So they closed down this store. You got more thieves going to 5 stores than you had individually going to the 10 stores. So the crime rate is going to increase, it's going to double, it's going to spike at the remaining stores. Now, if I was the devil and I wanted to get into online business like Amazon, to where you just go online, order stuff, and it gets delivered, well, what would I?
Okay, but you get the general idea. I can put in I can put in pictures, different media. I can put in video. I can put pictures over video. The higher the level, this is on track 4. The higher the level, it'll show up on top, and then you can do all these little fancy things like spin it around, make it disappear, and all this other stuff. So basically, that it's useful, but its size is extremely large once we load it up. One of the things that might work, and I just thought of this, is once you get your video all done, you go over to a convert, and this will pop up a screen. Everything seems to be slowing down a little bit now. Export video, and then I've got this thing all set for MP4, and I'm going to use HD 720, 24 frames per second, which is 1280 by 720. The quality is high. I can adjust this quality to medium or low, see if that'll save a whole bunch of. One of the other things, I just want to cancel this out, is some of the files I've been putting in here are rather large. Like, for instance, this, let me pop over to my image viewer. I'm going to show you how to, I plan on setting this up to make shorter videos. This one was, 5 gigabytes or something. If I pop on over, I keep my videos and I put in my artwork, and then these are all my pictures. So this is my idea, is I'm gonna go ahead and try this, and I did it with this video. Okay, where is my, wanted to show you the size on this thing, and it's not showing up right now. Okay, here it is. Okay, this one is 3 megabytes, so I've got this one in there, and I don't know how this actually works with 3 megabytes with all the frames that's in there is really high. But what I did is I took this thing and I put it into my GIMP, and I put it to a smaller file. And I'll show you how I wound up doing that. I use GIMP, GNU, and so what I did is I put it in the GIMP, and then I checked the image size. I can scale the image, but canvas size, I'm going to flip on over to inches so we all know what they're talking about. See, this thing is 74 inches by 49 inches. This is a huge file. So I can try resizing it, but that doesn't really work. What I did is I just went over to edit, and I hit copy visible, and then I see it's kind of taking some time to copy. I went over and I did a new file, and I made it 12 by 8 inches with a white background, and I'm just going to cancel that out, and I pasted it in there, and when I pasted it in there, you can just, it'll paste in there really huge. It'll be way outside the bounds, but you go ahead and you hit on GIMP, the scale tool, and you click on here, and you can scale this down to almost nothing, scale it up, do whatever you want. I'm going to hit the reset on here, and then you just click on scale and it'll scale it in there. Okay, I tried that. Let me show you what I did on to get my idea to produce videos is I went into the artwork, I copied all of the ones I wanted, and then to put in this one, I just put it into a new folder I called instructions, and then I pasted them in there, and then I renamed them in what order? 1, 2, 3, and I noticed if I do 1A, it'll put it in front. So I can put these things in the order I want them, and I can go through these with a full screen. That way you can show whatever pictures you want. And then as I'm going through, this is the scaled up version of the original file, because it only shows up this big deal. So lesson number 1 is when you copy pictures off the internet, make sure you get files that are rather large. Remember I told you that this one was scaled in at 12 by 9 or 12 by 8, and this is how it shows up, 12 by 8. So you can see you can probably get it a lot larger to like double the size, 24 by 16, and it'll show up. Because I've got another one on here, I'm going to flip to the end. Well, you can put these in the order you want. That way as you're talking, you can just flip on over to whatever pictures you want to show. This one shows up on a screen, I would say right proportionately, but don't forget, if it's too big, the program, the viewer, will scale it down. Now if we go into back in the GIMP, I've got this picture in here, and I go in and look at the image and look at the canvas size and look at it in inches, something we all can understand. This thing is like 43 by 24. So it scales down so you can see the whole thing on here. So I'm thinking 24 by 16 is probably about what you want to do. That'd probably be the best, the smaller size. One thing that I noticed is when I take this picture I got on here, this one was way too big. This is the 49 by whatever, and YouTube wouldn't accept it as a, stick it in there as a logo picture. So I had to scale it down so that YouTube would accept it. So this program GIMP is useful for that. Anyway, hope this helps you out a lot. Just to go over this real quick, there's Voco screen. You need a screen recorder, all right, and then you need I use GIMP, but you can basically use whatever photo editor you want, whatever you're used to, and you can record the screen. You can set up your pictures that you want to do. Basically, what you're going to do is open up your image viewer when you want to insert a screen. If you follow me on my channel, I mostly use eSword. And if you're talking about it and you're going to start commenting on something, whatever subject it is, you can flip on over to your screen while you're talking. Adds a little bit of flavor to it. And then you can flip back on over to your eSword or whatever you're doing. You can still go on to your browser and show a video in there. That's not going to be a problem. And you can have all of this stuff set up. You can do a little bit of pre-planning. You can run a course, but you can produce videos using videos off of your web browser. You can use your Bible program. You can use your pictures, and you know, this is my typical. This is probably 8 or 11. Yeah, this is 11 inches. So you get an idea of what these are going to show up. And then, of course, you want your closing screen so you can tell people to subscribe, like, and share. Hopefully people will follow instructions. And with GIMP, I made this on GIMP, just basically, it pretty complicated. You got to take an eagle and you got to outline it by dots, and then you take that and you put it over an American flag, and then you highlight your outline, and then you cut that out of an American flag, you paste it on here. You can take the eagle that you had, paste it over, and then lighten up or darken it, add these little missiles. after a Biden comment, I had to add these missiles. You can add a flag. You can put in your little subscribe button thing. You can add in your lettering and colors and all that stuff. Save it to a file. I typically save JPEG. So if you got any questions or want something else explained on any of these programs, I've got videos that you can look at to use all the different features on eSword. And you can look up GIMP, basically search GIMP or any other photo editor that you use, and get all the information you need to use some of the more detailed, more advanced methods of producing videos and everything else. Basically, you get this white outline on here by going through the script view effects. You got all these different effects. You can do a stroke around the lettering. So you can do it whatever color you want, from white to black, and the size. You want it 50% in or how much in. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with these things. So kind of start using these programs, these tools that we have, because we know that hey, God is on our side. He's going to equip us with the tools we need. So let's get to work.